As I travel all through the world in search of the most authentic of ingredients, I come across little places where they are the most unassuming human beings, and they have these flavors with them that have been handed down from generation to generation. I love interacting and creating a twist with Om Cuisine and bringing it to each one of you. Let's explore together. Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Om Cuisine, authentic, universal, meditative. I'm going to be making one of my favorite variations of a beautiful, comforting, fantastic dish actually. It's a rasam, but this time I'm going to be making a beet rasam. So rasam, as we have made before, is a South Indian light soup. It's called charu in Andhra Pradesh and rasam more in Tamil Nadu. So in this I just have a hot pan and I'm going to be putting in some coconut oil. And in that coconut oil I'm going to be adding in some cumin seeds. And I'm going to be putting in the beets. For a little bit of water and allow that to steam through. While that happens, over here in my trusted brew machine, I'm going to be putting together a few things. I'm going to be putting in some coriander seeds, maybe about half to 1 teaspoon based on how much you do like the flavor. A couple of pinches of black pepper. 1 pinch of cumin seeds. Then I'm going to be putting in a pinch of red chili flakes and a pinch and a half of asafetida or hing. And to that, I'm also going to be adding a teaspoon of garlic. Minced garlic is fine. And some fresh curry leaves. Little bit of cilantro and a few sepals of kokum. Now kokum is otherwise called fish tamarind, and I like to normally put some water, hot water, to soak it right through. So I'm going to be putting that in and I'm going to make my own paste. Smells fantastic. And the beets are all happy right now. Beets, if you just boil it without adding the coconut oil and the cumin seeds, they will turn bitter. So you don't really want that. I'm going to be adding this paste in there. And once that paste has been added, I'm going to be adding in 1.5 cups of already cooked churi dal. But you can also use moong dal if you want. So this is something that you can add in right there. And when you cook the dal, do add some turmeric in it. So I'm going to be adding in a little bit more of the water. And in my brew machine, I'm going to add maybe another 5 to 10 little kokum pieces with a little bit more of the water, and I'm going to add some more cilantro. Alright, so we have the rasam coming around, but the most important part of the rasam, as many people say, is in bringing together the flavors by a very well accommodated garnish. Before we do that, all that stuff that we put together in here, the kokum and the cilantro, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a quick little and just add it to this immediately. Now, learn something about the kokum. One of the biggest benefits of kokum is that it's very good for female uterine health. So it makes sense that it would pair well with beets, which is very good for women. Doesn't mean the guys can't have it, but you know, this is more for the girls type of thing. So I'm going to be putting a little kadai in here, which is the shape of that lovely little pan, and pour in some coconut oil. And to that, I'm going to be putting in things which are really important for that garnish. So we're going to be putting in some few methi seeds and mustard seeds. And I love that to splatter. Meanwhile, I'm getting together some of my curry leaves. And I'm also going to be using some green chilies. Perfect. So when it's starting to bubble up like so, you can add the green chilies and the curry leaves, really nice. And I love that to splatter. And a little bit of hing or asafetida. Smells lovely. And I'm going to be adding this straight into my rasam. I'm going to be plating up in just a few minutes. So it's lovely to put the rasam into a lovely little bowl like so, and I'm going to tell you how I'm going to eat it. So normally I do like to serve the beet rasam sometimes just like a starter, you know. You could also puree it completely if you're going to be okay with the idea of having mustard seeds like that and you like the taste of them. But if you're not used to the heat of it, it's a good idea to serve it like so, along with a little bit of rice. I put some salt to taste only with each serving, because with beets you have to be really careful on what type of salt content is in there, because the beets do have a really nice sweetness to it. And a little bit of rice, and I like to garnish very simply with some cilantro leaves. So I'm going to do a taste test. It's just got some plain old rice in here. There we go. Well, you know, this taste test to me is just an absolute taste of nostalgia. It reminds me of beautiful summers which I spent in southern India, and knowing the benefits of it, I took this recipe with me all over the world while I had my monthly cycle. So this is a very gracious recipe which kind of makes you feel sweet, powerful, and very privileged to be a woman. Until we meet again in another episode of Om Cuisine, this is Vaidya Priyanka.